Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yemi, and this channel is all about inspiring you to own your life, live up to your potentials, and to be your best self. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the books that I enjoyed reading this year. Actually, these are not all the books that I read this year, but these are the books that I would highly recommend for you to add to your reading list for next year if you're a bookie, if you like reading. And even if you don't like reading, I would encourage you to at least read one of these books, pick up one of these books and read. It will elevate you. It's good for your personal development and also for your brand, because these days everyone is a personal brand. Everyone has a personal brand. So these books will elevate you and also elevate your personal brand. So if you're interested in this video, please don't forget to keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe, turn on your bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thank you, okay? So the first book I would recommend for you guys is The Unfair Advantage, How You Already Have What It Takes to Succeed. And you guys know that I'm a big fan of maximizing your potentials, identifying and maximizing, leveraging your unique assets. I talk about unique assets a lot on this channel, and it's basically your gift, your skill, your talent, that thing that God has given you inside of you that no one can take away from you, regardless of whether you maximize it or you don't maximize it. It's inside you already. But this book talks about the unfair advantage and the unfair advantages that people enjoy in life that makes them succeed over other people. So for example, you may have the same skill, you may have the same talent, you may have the same knowledge as another person, but because the person is in a country where there are better systems, the person is more likely to succeed faster than you are. Do you understand? So these books talk about the unfair advantages that every one of us enjoy. You might enjoy everyone has one of these privileges. Everyone has at least one of these unfair advantages mentioned in the book. So the unfair advantages are grouped under this MILES framework. M stands for money, I stands for intelligence and insight, L stands for location and luck, E is for education and expertise, while S is for status. But personally, I wouldn't consider intelligence as an unfair advantage. I think it's your unique asset, it's your gift. But insight, on the other hand, yes, because somebody might be prone to an information that you don't have access to, and that way, once the person leverage that, regardless of how much you push and put in effort, that person already has that insight that you don't have. So they are more likely to succeed faster than you. So beyond, talking about the unfair advantages, the book also talks about ways that you can maximize your own assets and the unfair advantage that you already have to attract other things that you don't have, and that way you move faster. It talks about traction, that in this world, speed is important, and how to gain that speed is knowing your own unique asset, like I always say, and knowing the unfair advantages that you enjoy, the privileges that you enjoy, so that you can put one and two together to, move faster. And it also, part B of the book talks about how to grow your business from startup, Yeah, so I really, really enjoyed the book. People were born into a wealthy family. Some people are just very intelligent. Some people are just in a location that makes everything work together for you. A YouTuber in Lagos and a YouTuber in Ibadan. Most likely the one who is going to trend faster is probably the one in Lagos, because there are a lot of happening things in Lagos as opposed to Ibadan, No shades to people living in Ibadan, but anyway, that's it, and you can't compare somebody who is in the US, who is in the UK, who is in Australia to someone who is in Pakistan. No shades, please, no shades, okay? I highly recommend this book. And the people that wrote this book, they are first generation immigrants to the UK, and they are the experts in startup. I think they're one of the best leading people in experts in startup, startup company. So yes, and they both came from Pakistan. I'm not really sure, but yeah, the book is, they're not people that really enjoyed certain privileges from the onset, but through their own journey, through their own story, they recognize some of the things that they have that other people don't have, and they, add everything together. And so yes, I would highly, highly recommend this book. I'm talking too much about this book, but I'd highly recommend it to you guys. So yeah, this is the first. So the second book I'm going to recommend for you guys is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits. You guys, I feel like I'm even late on the train because everyone is talking about this book. Everybody is talking about this book, and it's not because they just want to market the book for the owner, for James Clear. No, it's because the book is highly practical. It is easy to read, it is easy to implement, and it just breaks down building good habits into simpler bits. Like, it makes it so easy and so practical for you to adopt good habits and to break bad habits. The book has loads and loads of information that I cannot even begin to say which particular aspect of the book I like. And it talks about how your identity shapes your habits and how your habits also shapes your identity. And there's a quote, there's a part of the book that I like. It says, the more pride you have in a particular aspect of your identity, the more motivated you will be to maintain the habits associated with it. For example, I am a believer, I am a Christian, and that's where I base my identity. So I'm more likely, I'm more motivated to read my Bible in the morning because I take pride in my identity, you know. So there are loads and loads of, you know, practical tips in this book on how you can build good habits. And we all know that our habits determine the direction of our life. The things you do daily, the little things that you do daily add up to become who you are. And so if you want to be the best of yourself, if you want to build, you want to elevate yourself, you want to live, you know, a life that is fulfilling, I think you would need to develop and adopt good habits for yourself. So I think this book is a must-have for everyone. It's a must-read. Even if you don't like reading, just start. Read one page. Take the entire year to read this book. Honestly, you would really enjoy it. And I found myself just writing notes, just highlighting every part of the book. You guys, this book has just become a color page, you know, for me. But I really enjoy this book, and I highly recommend it to you for next year. Add it to your reading list for 2022 and you will not regret it, okay? Yes. So while we are in the spirit of building good habits and, you know, breaking bad habits, another book that I would highly recommend you read next year is The 5 a.m. Club. The 5 a.m. Club, okay? This book, I actually got it last year. I read it last year, but I went back to reading a few parts of the book this year again, and that's because I'm not really a morning person, you guys. The book talks about owning your morning and elevating your life, and I'm not really a morning person. I'm not a morning person per se. I don't make major decisions in the morning. I prefer to do them at night, but I really wanted to build good morning habits, even if I'm not going to do a lot in the morning. But I want my morning to be, your morning sets the mood for the day. So I really wanted to adopt good habits for my morning. And I actually bought this book last year because it was recommended by Mpumi Ledwaba. She's a South African YouTuber that I really admire. I love her work. I love how she puts herself, how she carries herself. I love everything about her. You know, so she recommended this book, The 5 a.m. Club, and we just wanted to read the book out of curiosity to know what's inside the book. Why is everybody talking about the book and all of that? So that was why I picked it up to read last year, and I read it and I practiced the 2020 formula. There's a 20-20-20 formula. That's 320, 20-20-20 formula on what you can do in the mornings, because some people wake up early in the morning and they go about watching TV, they go about reading the newspaper, they just do things, you know, they just do random things that don't add up to their day, you know. But the book talks about things that you can do when you wake up early in the morning. And I'm not going to say that you really need to wake up 5 a.m. in the morning for you to adopt the principles in the book. No, you can wake up 7 a.m. in the morning. You can wake up 8 a.m. in the morning. You can wake up 6 a.m. in the morning. But just following the principles in the book, the 2020 formula in the book, just helps you to make the most of your morning, to own your morning, to wake up to do something important, something that will drive your day in the direction that you want it to go. Yes, I think that's it. So yes, the book is a step-by-step method to protect the quiet hours of daybreak, to set the tone, to set the mood for your day. I'm sure there are a lot of books that talk about owning your morning, but I would highly recommend this book, The 5 a.m. Club. It's an interesting read because it's like a storytelling kind of book. So it's a story of somebody, there was a trigger and the person decided to wake up and own his morning and all of that. So it's an interesting read with practical tips on how to own your morning. So I'd highly recommend this book for you guys for next year, okay? So another book I would highly recommend that you add to your reading list next year is Rising Strong by Brené Brown. Rising Strong by Brené Brown. I know it's an old book, but honestly, like I said, you guys, I'm late to the party on a lot of books, and that's because I'm just starting to invest in books, okay? I'm just starting to invest in books, and so some of you may have read the book before, but if you have not read the book, it's a great buy. And the book talks about how the ability to reset transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. It's a great book, honestly. It's a great book. And this book talks about how to rise up, how to get back up, how to stand stronger, how to heal, how to overcome the challenges. Because trust me, guys, we will fall. We will face challenges. Like, life is a roller coaster of challenges and getting back up, challenges, getting back up, and, you know, just resetting and rebuilding and reinventing yourself. And the book really helped me to dig deeper into myself, to understand why I did certain things the way I did, and, you know, just transform my life, to reset myself. There were times that I realized that there were some traumas, there were some experiences that I did not really process properly in my life, and it has affected the way I lived, you know, I go about my life, you know, and it just helped me to really dig deeper into that and to come out stronger. So the book is for healing, it's for transforming your life, it's for resetting the way you think, the way you do things, so that you can live better, you can love better, you can parent better, and you can lead better. You know, it talks about setting boundaries, there are principles. It's actually a book based on research and humor. You know, it's an interesting book. We will fall, we will fail, but knowing how to react and how to get back up is highly, highly important. So Rising Strong talks about, you know, it really gives you the courage to get back up. It gives you the courage to live a brave life. You know, a lot of times we want to make changes in our lives, we want to transform our lives, but we don't have the courage. Courage is what we lack, you know. So this book really encourages you and gives you practical tips on how you can rise up stronger, you know. So I would highly, highly recommend this book. It's a great read. It's a great book to add to your collection, because there will always be challenges in life. You know, you always have something to read, to fall back on, and to just get practical tips to get back on. And trust me, it was one of the books that prompted me to, like I said, dig deep into myself and to look at other people around me, to really ask, what happened to this person? Why is this person this way? And it's one of the books that challenged me to, you know, I'll talk about that later on, because it's one of the books that challenged me, gave me the courage to actually go and do what I want to do, what I will be doing in my business that will be launching next year. Okay, so yeah, more details on that later on, but Rising Strong is a great book to have as well, okay? Another book I would highly recommend to you guys is Show Your Work. Okay, Show Your Work is one of the cutest book I have. I think it's the only cute book I have. So cute, like really small, compact, and it's so colorful, black and white patterns, drawings, so cool. I really enjoyed reading the book. But aside from me enjoying reading the book, it has 10 tips, 10 practical tips on how you can show your work. Like I said, everyone has a personal brand these days, whether you're intentional about it or not. You are a brand, you are your own brand, okay? And there's always going to be that point in your life that you have to communicate and show yourself, show your work without being salesy, you know? Even if you're not selling anything, even if you're working in a company, there'll be a time that you will have to pitch yourself to your company, to promote you, to do things or whatever. This book is just a great guide to help you to show your work, to show yourself, to communicate what you are doing better. And I really like this book because it helped me to show my work, just like the name. It really helped me to understand the mindset, because I'm not a salesy person. I enjoy creating, I enjoy helping people, but I don't really know how to market myself. I don't really know how to push or force my ideas on people. You know, I always think it is forcing. I want people to come to terms with, to enjoy, to discover the value in what I'm doing. But the book helped me to understand that, you know, beyond you doing things, like nobody knows you, even if you're good. Or what's the point if you're good and nobody knows you? Do you understand? So it really changed my mindset, changed my perspective on marketing myself and showing my work, you know. The funny thing is that I added the book to my reading list for this year, but it was one of those books that were lower ranking, you know. But when I was writing my book, in the process of, you know, putting finishing touches to it, I reached out to Korede Ajibade, and she helped me, and she talked about this book so much. And yeah, I just decided to go and get the book. So really, the book changed my mindset on marketing myself, communicating about my worth, communicating my value, the things that I do. And it shared 10 tips that, would really help you. And one thing that I love about it is one of the tips that I really enjoyed, that really hit me, is the second one that talks about thinking process and not products. Sharing the process of your work while you're at it. It encourages people. Let me read a particular quote that I like. Audiences not only want to stumble across great work, but they too long to be creative and part of the creative process. So it just really changed my mindset on marketing myself, showing my work. And yeah, if you have a personal brand, you have a business, you have a product, this is a great book to help you to promote yourself better. And it really changes your mindset, changes your perspective. Yeah. So anyway, enough talking about the book. This is another book that I'll highly recommend. So the last but not the least book that I'll highly recommend that you add to your reading list for next year, even if you don't get any of these books, this one is a must-have for you because it's a practical step-by-step guide to freedom. And who doesn't want to be free in this life? And that book is my ebook, A Smart Girl's Guide to Freedom. I would highly recommend this book. It's an ebook, but I printed out my copy because this is my first paid digital product. Okay, so I had to print it out to see what I've done, and I go over it every once in a while to learn again from the book. Honestly, guys, there are times that I will feel down and, I just go over the book. It brings me joy. The book actually brings me joy. I go over the book and I'm gingered and I feel encouraged and I'm just motivated to keep doing what I'm doing, So the book is a very great book. It helps you to define yourself. It helps you to identify your unique asset, your unique potential. It helps you to identify this and also leverage it. Not just identifying what you have, but you have to go beyond that to actually maximize it if you want to live a life of freedom, a life that you enjoy, and I believe that clarity brings freedom. Once you know the path you want to take, once you know exactly what you want to do and you know how to do it, that's a life of freedom for me. As far as I'm concerned, that's a life of freedom because you don't have to depend on people to do things for you. You now know what you want and you know how to get it, and it also talks about, building resilience because like I said, there'll be times that you feel like, what am I even doing? Nothing is adding up. The book, there's a chapter in the book that talks about building resilience. It's a practical step-by-step guide on how to get freedom, on your journey to freedom, and in the book we have reflection points, questions that will spark up your curiosity to actually dig deep into yourself to, know the things that you want and how to get it, So yeah, the book has all of that and I've gotten great reviews about the book and I'm really impressed about the book. So I think it's something that you want to add to your reading list for next year. It's a practical guide. I even encourage you to get it now so that you can read it and prepare yourself. It sets the tone for your year. And yeah, I can go on and on and talk about the book, but it's very simple to read. It's very simple to use and it's packed with principles. It's something you can go over again and again, help you to become the valuable woman that you are, to live the life that you want to live, So yes, I would highly recommend that you grab the ebook. All right, so these are the books that I enjoyed reading this year, and I would highly recommend that you get one of these books and add them to your reading list. And let me know in the comment section, do you have books that you already want to read next year? Do you have any books on your reading list for next year? Let me know in the comment section because I'm also building my reading list for next year, So let me know in the comment section and let me know which of these books you have read before and how it impacted your life. Let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Share the video with someone you know will be interested in the video or someone you know will really enjoy reading the book. Okay, thank you so much for watching